Emily? Emily? Can we get the stream started? Oh, if you can start the stream, then let's just plug it.
Of what? Alright, you're connected to yours. That's an interesting. Alright, which one?
It's a plug into this.
Where's the... Oh. So, we're missing...
And then the HDMI cable.
Oh, there it is.
So, to stream, you gotta this one.
Oh, it's because they were playing the game.
And this one. Which is great how people had that clean.
I believe you.
Where's the... okay, yes. Huh? What was that, Danny?
What?
What was that?
I believe you.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna be the timer.
Oh, awesome.
You gotta be the hook man.
I'll let you know. I'll signal
It's
you.
normally in a satchel.
Daniel? I don't see Daniel. Test, test. Test. Daniel, is there a Daniel in the house? Daniel? Can I get your experience over here, Daniel? Actually, Daniel, can you come up here real quick? Yeah. The audio is not working on the recording.
This doesn't happen every time. If you got something playing in it.
Test. My microphone.
Where's the doodad that's playing it live?
There's no
what?
What are you playing live?
You said the audio's not working.
Yeah, it's not going. My microphone is not going into the stream.
Oh. It's right here.
This is where the speaker is.
Where's that? Where's this going?
It should go on to...
It should be plugged into this. So, here, talk into it.
Test.
That's this one. Alright, so this one's going in. Alright,
Is that calling you?
yeah.
Emily? 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 The sound equipment.
The audio's not on here. I don't see it trigger you.
Yes.
It's this one right here. But it's not showing up on here.
Maybe when it's set up.
Oh, is it this H?
Well, we can change that.
Yeah, you can just unplug it. It's right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wait, mute it.
Yes.
Was it already set?
Hi, I'm excited. We don't work on this place.
Okay. Yeah, but which one is it on here?
Why is it different?
Somebody touched it probably. But it's not in here.
Try.
I'll let you guys do that when I get started over here. All right. Can you turn the microphone up, please? Yeah. There you go. Test. All right, everybody. Welcome to Lightning Talks. Before we get started, we're still trying to get the stream set up. So I'm going to show you guys a couple videos here of what happened last week. This is in the Hacker Dojo Discord server. If you guys aren't part of that, you guys can get connected. There's a couple of QR codes sitting around. A couple of images from last week, just in case you weren't here.
Do you have,
So this is Build-A-Bot. This happened on Monday. This is so awesome. Robot Robert did this. Really, really cool.
I just want to see if it comes to the streamer.
Can you guys see that? All right.
I don't want it to. I want to be able to. Okay, yeah.
All right, there we go. Cool. Yeah, so there's Robot Robert. These are all the, what do you call them, engineers, hackers, building up their AI robot. Really cool. Some more images. Look at this. This is one of the AI bots. So this is software and hardware put together. That's really cool. All handmade. Are we good on the screen? This is the program inside of building an AI bot. You want to try to figure it out?
No, I'm just gonna try to.
All right, yeah. Go ahead. Check this out. Yeah. That's pretty cool, huh? If you guys are interested, this happens on Monday, every Monday, around 6 p.m., 6:30, here in the classroom.
That's not.
This was last week's Lightning Talks. A couple of our speakers from last week.
Where's the live stream?
Ping pong. It gets very competitive here playing ping pong, so be careful with who you challenge, all right? Can you guys see that? Yeah? Okay, cool. Oh, hack comedy. I'm going to mention this a little later. Some more of our speakers. You got it? It's just me not talking? Press this.
No, it's it was coming through the USB and now
Okay.
it's not.
Our speakers from last week. Very nice. Again, this is the Discord. There's a couple of QR codes around Hacker Dojo. Okay.
Pause for a second.
Oh, poker night. That's another thing, man. That's another competitive thing. You guys like playing poker? You guys like playing poker? You guys can definitely hang out afterwards. After Lightning Talks, we get to play poker. It gets very competitive as well. Did you want me to get started?
It's all set up correctly. I believe that the USB connection is just faulty. Because it did this last time. The sound will cut in and out, and it's that the connection to it. I'll tell it to go from the camera.
Okay. These images are also part of the Slack Hacker Dojo
What is it?
channel group. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, everyone, welcome to Lightning Talks. I am Blockchain John. I will be your host this evening. Before we get started, I want to present to you guys a slide here. Let's see here. Yes.
A lot of something.
All right, welcome to Hacker Dojo. If this is your first time here, there is a sign up right at the front board, front desk. Make sure you guys sign up, get you guys a little name badge. We would appreciate that. All right, Hacker Dojo is a community of engineers, artists, scientists, activists, entrepreneurs, and other creative people centered around a co-working social facility. Membership. We are a non-profit, and without the support of members, we would cease to exist. So it's very important that we have members. All right, so if you want to sign up and support this non-profit, head over to hackerdojo.org. Another thing is we need a lot of volunteers. If you guys would like to volunteer, it would be greatly appreciated. You know, membership's nice, volunteering is even better. It's so great to have volunteers out here. If you guys want to be the next host, you know, I welcome you. Come on up. All right. So now that I have your attention, how long have you been at Hacker Dojo? Is this your first time here? Raise your hand. If this is your first time at Hacker Dojo, raise your hand. Nice. All right. Great. All right. If you guys have been here more than 1 week, raise your hand. All right. How about 1 month? 1 month. All right. It's still going. That's awesome. Okay. Cool. How about 1 year? You've been at Hacker Dojo for 1 year. All right. Cool. All right. You've been at Hacker Dojo for 10 years. 100 years. All right. Okay, here's another thing I want to ask you guys. I want to get a vibe of our group here, our audience, our guests, our visitors, and our members. Are you a hacker? Raise your hand. Okay, it looks like the hackers all hang out over here. You guys are not cool enough. You guys stay over there, okay? Hackers on this side only. Are you a developer? Oh, okay. You watching this? We got a lot of developers now. So if you're looking for a developer, come on over to Hacker Dojo. You're going to find them here. They're all here. Are you an entrepreneur? Raise your hand. That's like everybody here. All right. I love it. Are you a hobbyist? You just come out here and hang out at Hacker Dojo to be a hobbyist, learn a new skill. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Yeah. Okay. You guys can definitely move on in. Come on in. Okay. Last but not least. Do we have any unicorns in the house? Yeah, all right. We got a couple unicorns. Love it. Every week we get new unicorns. So great. So good. What's a unicorn? All right. Okay, donations and suggestions. Here is the QR code for the Venmo, for the Hacker Dojo Venmo, if you guys would like to donate. Today's barbecue was sponsored by Intel. Thank you, Intel, for sponsoring that. But in the future, we do like to have regular barbecues and meetups and get-togethers. So it's always great to have some tips donated. So there's a tip jar up at the desk in the front. There's a Venmo. You guys can scan the QR code here. And there's a donation list up in the front. There's some like hardware if you guys would like to donate. A suggestion board, which is gone. It's somewhere around. There's a donation board somewhere around. All right. Continuing on. Upcoming events. If you guys aren't part of the Hacker Dojo meetup, we do have plenty of events going on almost just about every day. I'm going to show you guys what's coming up next week. Saturday, we have the Silicon Valley Computer Programming Club and Programming Time. Yeah, hosted by Turbo, right over here. Sunday, we have free computer tech support. If you have some problems with your computer or your hardware, you can bring it over to Hacker Dojo and get it fixed for free. That's pretty cool. That's what I like about Hacker Dojo. All right, Alpha AI is seeking co-founder Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday as well, and machine learning hands-on challenge on Wednesday. Thursday, Alpha AI seeking co-founder and computer tech support again on Thursday. Implementing innovative idea workshop, Alpha AI seeking co-founder on Friday, and again next Friday we will have Lightning Talks, and hopefully one of you guys can volunteer to be a host and come up here. That'd be great, greatly appreciated. And Saturday, this is a big event. Normally I don't like to go, cycle up to the following week, but this is a big one right here. This is a big one. If you have not heard of Hack Comedy, that is one of our biggest events here. It's like a shoulder-to-shoulder event because there's so many people that show up. A lot of comedians come out here. They travel across the state and make you laugh. If you're a member, it's free. Otherwise, if you're not a member, it's $20. Check it out. If you guys want to connect on Hacker Dojo, we do have a meetup, website, YouTube, Twitch, Slack, Discord, and Twitter.
It's plugged in right here.
Oh, and afterwards, okay, this is a big one. I keep forgetting. That's why I made a slide, because I forgot already. That's a good thing I made a slide. Okay, group photo. Afterwards, I want everybody in the back. We're going to take a group photo. That'd be awesome. Yeah, let's do it. Remind me. If I forget, remind me. Say, hey, blockchain's up. Hey, blockchain's up. Wow. All right. Rule number one. Who can tell me what rule number one is? Be excellent to each other. All right. Speakers will have 5 minutes to talk about the topics, and we do have our board filled with 10 speakers today. All right. Give me a break here. I'm going to grab some water. Be right back.
Oh, that's right.
No, I'm trying to go in, not out.
Would you just say quick if anybody sees a pair of glasses like this?
Okay. Are these lost?
That's what's lost. It looks just like it. This is my replacement.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm looking for something that looks just like this.
If they found a lost? If they found it? Has anybody found any glasses? What color glasses? Like this.
But I was hoping
Very similar to this. No? Okay, I'll ask him. All right, again, rule number one, be excellent to each other. But before we get started, dun dun dun. Let's not go there. All right, I'm going to invite Eric. Eric has up. Okay, all right, let's get Emily on the stage to introduce Eric. Where you at, Emily?
I'm right here.
Oh, there you go.
Well, is it on? Is it on? It is. Not.
I know, that's all.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to Hacker Dojo. I'm Emily, the board chair of the... This is not loud. Holy shit. Sorry. Alright. Sorry. This gets to be really close. So I'm the board chair of Hacker Dojo, and we have just hired our new executive director, Eric Hess. He comes from a sister makerspace, Maker Nessus, and he's done a bunch of fundraising in the past, very good ones, and has been doing a lot of our electrical. Don't mind the mess, but yeah.
That's about it. Go ahead.
You all right? Okay.
Go ahead.
You awake now? So, without further ado, Eric.
Apparently Butters wants to come up on the stage also. You'll see wandering around this cute little dog, just as ours. But my name's Eric, like Emily mentioned, coming over from Maker Nexus, and really excited to be here. I've spent the last month or so kind of lurking around the community, getting to know the people here, and this is kind of a full circle moment for me. The organization that I founded, Maker Nexus, got its start. Our first town hall meeting when we were kind of gathering together community was at Hacker Dojo out of the previous location. So it's really great to be back in this community and able to help support and move the organization forward in a more concrete way. And really looking forward to getting to know all the members here and all the guests and the rest of the community and supporting each of your individual efforts and entrepreneurial adventures and programming and all the other efforts that you want to move forward. Looking forward to supporting and facilitating that. I know there's going to be a lot of questions. We are going to be doing some type of town hall in the next couple of weeks. My first official day is Monday, so I'm still here as just a volunteer. But we'll be really looking forward to hearing from everyone here, all the stakeholders. That's everyone in the community, because within a community, everyone is a core part of what we create here. Any one person is part of a much larger body that makes really amazing things happen. So thank you all for being here tonight and participating with the Lightning Talks, and thanks to Intel for sponsoring this. And thank you to Emily and the rest of the board and membership of Hacker Dojo for this opportunity. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. You don't have to stop. It's not even election. Number one.
Okay. Got it?
Hit some? No?
We are having a great day. Let's
Go
just...
ahead and push it. Yes, it works. It's alive. Can you hear me now? All right. All right. Okay. Well, you're right next to the speaker. Okay. Again, I'm going to invite Emily up. She's going to talk about the board meeting. Did you forget already?
It's okay.
She forgot. All right. But before we talk about that, if you can, please just give yourself a little introduction and your background and what you've been doing here at Hacker Dojo.
Okay. Well, now this is better. So again, I'm Emily Johnson. I've been part of Hacker Dojo since 2019 when I came to the 10-year reunion or anniversary. What's wrong? Closer. Oh, I got it. All right. So went to the 10-year and saw what amazing things they did here, and then joined on the board in 2020. So I've come from a background of software from Tesla to Cisco, all the way into startup worlds. Currently, I advise startups as a side gig, and here volunteering full-time for the next one more day until Eric is here to take over. But yeah, that's me. Anything else, John? So we came out of pandemic February 2022. We lost more than 3/4 of our membership. People moved away. We've been suffering from a little bit of a issue with trying to ramp up. Not letting people come to something that doesn't have people in it. So, as you can see, we've actually gotten pretty far, and we're now starting to host events with nice sponsors like Intel. Keep giving them shout outs. But,
Thank you, Intel. Thanks, Intel.
thank you. Without those kind of supports, we will struggle. But you can see here, we actually have to reach a much higher number or higher sponsors. So we're at 132, actually as of today 139, which is great. But we do not have a long enough runway. We run out of money in September. As you can see, if we follow our current trajectory, we're January. We have some new plans going in place, but we're still looking for donations, companies that you might be working for that could probably give us sponsorships, anything of that nature. We're also looking for memberships. That's probably the #1 thing you can do, is to help increase these memberships. We have a lot of benefits. If you want to host your own events, they're free. If you're a member, you can come in 24/7, which many of our members love, and plenty more on our website, so you can take a look. And we have an annual package that you can see at green, which is 25% off if you just do one donation of $13.50, and you have it for the year. Of course, that's a nice injection of money to help us get to the rest of our runway. All right, that is it I have. Back to you, John.
Thank you, everyone. All right. Are we ready for Lightning Talks? Are you guys awake? Am I talking loud? Did I wake you guys up? All right. Turn down my microphone. Let me turn it down over here a little bit. Okay. Can you hear me in the back? You awake? Great. Okay. Cool. Our speakers ready. Modesta and Zachary will be our first speakers, speaking on the engineering experience. This is quite interesting. This is going to be two speakers. Where's our second microphone? There it is. So they're going to have 30 seconds. They're going to introduce themselves, and then 5 minutes on the clock. I'll let you have one, and then there's another.
Alrighty, hello everyone. I just want to say I'm grateful for being here. Two reasons I'm here. One is that I'm here to get out of my comfort zone, and the best way to do that is public speaking right in front of everybody. Anyway, the second reason I'm here, I'm very interested in what this is about. I'm currently pursuing a computer science degree. I'm a Mission College student, and obviously I don't have much experience, but I just want to say that I'm grateful for being around such a great community of intelligent people and hardworking people, and I hope I can learn something something great from you guys. So that's all I want to say. And this is my dad right here. He has a lot of experience. So yeah, thank you.
Hello. And my name is Morteza. Last name is very hard, so I don't have names. I started as a professor at the University of San Francisco. Then I joined the industry in high tech here. I got my PhD from UC Davis and worked for industry for 30 years. At this point, I'm slowing down a little bit. And as Zachary said, I was in my comfort zone too. Today my wife asked me to join this trip. Me and Zachary both. And I'm glad that I did. Whenever I walk in this hall, I thought this is a lab, because this is a typical premises that I work. That's how they look: the computer and network access and an extra board, for example, for a Qualcomm board, for the headphone design, or robotic boards. So basically, to do the same setup that I see in this computer, I was attaching to the remote lab works in India, in China, all over the world. So the whole world looks so flat. Everything is so close. That here connected to everywhere. From my station, I could change the oscilloscope. I could adjust oscilloscope in India, and then run the signals that I want and do the tests that I want at any time. So for me, as an engineer that started 30 years ago, this is a very, very different environment. At that time, my computer, I was working for IBM. My computer has 25 meg of memory. Today we are talking about terabytes. It's amazing how much we engineers accomplished, and we have to be proud of ourselves. So, all I want to say is, don't think that all of this invention that happening in this world is something out of reach. All of us can reach. As a matter of fact, in one of my companies, I was one of the founders of the company. And we actually designed fiber optics for faster access to the internet. So, and I was not an outstanding human being. I came from a village of Iran, and I accomplished all here. And I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of the United States of America. God bless all of you.
Thank you.
All right. Morty. Thank you, Morty. You know, Morty, this is his first time here at Haka Dojo. And he's our first speaker. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you as well, Zachary. Thank you. I want to see you guys afterwards. I need to take a picture. of you guys. All right, next we have Strick. Come on up. We're going to talk about some burrito. Who knows what a burrito is? Raise your hand. You guys know what a burrito is? A couple of you guys? Oh, okay. Guess you guys like salads. All right, Strick. You ready?
Yeah. I forgot my prop.
Uh-oh. You got the burrito. It's a half-eaten burrito.
Yeah. All right. Who knows where this came from? Taco truck. Burrito truck. You made it. La Costania, right? Where's La Costania?
Over by the subway.
Middlefield, a little bit past Wisman. Yes. Where were they in 1992?
Same place.
Ringsdorf and I think Old Middlefield, yes.
Yeah.
But you got it. You remember the old grocery store and they were in the back? So in 1992, a guy, who all lived in Silicon Valley in 1992? Who had a Spark station at work when you did that? Then you could have installed the burrito command written by Curtis Jackson. Let me see if... I can't change the size. Anyway, we'll go with this. I can't scroll it either. I want to go, oh, this is good enough. It's a Unix command, obviously. You can say it needs to be ready in 30 minutes. B is for burrito. G for guacamole. CC, cotija cheese. JF is jalapenos. We get down here, extra information. Oh, they have both add sour cream and remove sour cream. I don't know what that means. Extra information, they want black beans. And N2 means 2 of those. And it's for a guy named Ross. And then there's one more for Katie. She's getting a burrito. And the way this works, it was by a guy at Adobe. He wrote a command. I'm trying to find the source code to it. I don't know if it's in Perl or C or what. But down here it tells you how to set your environment variables and how to set the phone number that you want to fax it to and put things in your .rc files. They actually had a .costania rc for configuring things. It would send a fax to La Costania and they would make your burrito. It turned out La Costania already had the fax machine. They already had a form that you could use to fax your orders in ahead of time. But this guy made a Unix command out of it. And so he's one of my heroes. If I could, I bet I can get my, there's my mouse, yeah. This was a year before TPC.int was set up, which lets you send email to a reversed phone number, and volunteers around the world who had free dialing in their area like we did. Like this would deliver faxes to 415-336 made out of phone numbers. And that came a year later. So I thought at first the burrito command was using it. And then I should mention that La Costania made a burrito that was about 2/3 of a mile long in 1977. This is in Ringsdorf Park
at the Caltrain crossing. All right, that's enough. I get the burrito.
Do me a favor. Hold on. Do me a favor. Let's get a little introduction. I didn't get that third answer. Introduction. Background.
Oh, background. My name is Strick. I moved here from Georgia Tech as an intern in 1989 in the Bay Area, in time for the pretty big earthquake in that fall. And when they rebooted Hacker Dojo, you know, a year and a half ago or whatever, I decided to make a project of making this a success and trying to help out. So the first 5 or so Friday evening parties, I threw them with food and beer from Trader Joe's, and it's wonderful to see how many people are here now. So keep going.
Before you leave the stage, can you come back for 1 sec?
Straight.
Come back for a sec. So I'm going to make Strick part of my presentation. My name's Arthur. I've been a member for a while. But Strick is wearing a T-shirt which has on it the first computer I ever had, although this is a fancier version than I had. The TRS-80 Model 1 from Radio Shack. I started out with a 4K RAM TRS-80.
Oh!
So
I was so lucky I had 16K.
Yeah, oh man, it took me a lot of lawns mown and driveways shoveled to afford 16K. But anyway,
yeah.
Thank you for showing that off. The reason I mentioned that is I got a hankering recently to get back to the old days, not of 4K, but of a machine where you can control everything from top to bottom, right? Where all the software on the machine is yours, not layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of operating system and frameworks and browsers and all that sort of stuff. So I looked around for a while and I found this thing. There's a company called m5stack.com, and they make various devices, including this little thing I'm holding up right now. I decided to just kind of play around with that, kind of getting into the embedded world. So this is what it looks. Oh, can we get it on the screen? I'm sorry. How do I get that to show up on the screen?
It's connected?
It's connected, yeah.
Connected, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
let's try this control.
Yeah. Anyway, I basically wanted to get this little guy. I wanted to program one of these, we'll show it to you in a minute. It comes from a company called m5stack.com. It runs ESP32 processor, no operating system. You control it. You know, every last bit on the machine is yours, except for, of course, the code that takes a new program and loads it. That's it. And they have a whole variety of things, from this, which has an e-ink screen and a lot of resolution, to smaller screens with less resolution but color. And basically, it's kind of like an Arduino or Raspberry Pi, but with a case and a screen kind of built in one package. And they're pretty nice. This one cost me $85. It's super low power. It turns off when you're not using it, but the screen stays on because it's an e-ink screen. And I thought, well, what should I do with this? And I guess the first project any nerd does when he's got an embedded computer is a weather dashboard, right? You go to openweathermap.org and you download the data and you display it on the screen. But I don't really have any graphic design skills, so I went to a place called Design Crowd. You might have heard of, you might have heard of 99 Designs. It's kind of like that. Let's see, we'll carry this over to this screen and go full screen. All right, so what have you missed so far? Yeah, so m5stack.com, $85. This is what the device looks like in its pristine state. I wanted to be able to display the weather. I sent a request to Design Crowd and just a little bit of money and said, would you please find someone who can make me a nice design for this as an SVG file. I want to show today's weather in a large format and then 6 days of prediction in a small format. Give me an SVG file, and then I'll use that to write a program that generates an up-to-date SVG file based on OpenWeatherMap. And I started off thinking I would write all this code directly on the device itself, but it turns out that's a lot more work than I expected. That'll be the next version. But in the first version, I just put something on my personal web server that fetches the weather from openweathermap.org, produces an image of the screen, 960 by 540, that fits exactly the black and white resolution of the screen, And then the device just fetches every 15 minutes from my web server and puts that on the screen, whatever it is. So that's how the weather shows up on my screen. And in between those 15-minute fetches, it turns itself off. So it's essentially using no power except for a watchdog timer for a 15-minute delay. And yeah, this is what it looks like again. And this red part here, I printed at Hacker Dojo. So thank you very much to whoever set up the 3D printers. I had never used one before. There was no one around to teach me how to use it, but the manuals were there. And I did a crude attempt at printing. You can see there are a lot of lines in it and so on, but it worked. So now I have this sitting in my bathroom, so every morning I wake up and I can see the next 6 days' weather and today's weather and, you know, sunrise, sunset, and the phase of the moon. And yeah, so the next thing I want to do is, so I'm the organizer of the Bay Area Lisp and Scheme meetup group. So for many of the Lisp and Scheme are old programming languages that are still amazing and ideas are still coming out of today. We meet at Hacker Dojo periodically and just have various talks, often lightning talks. Sometimes Daniel gives us a talk about everything up to FPGAs. We've had historical talks recently about Medley Interlisp, which was an old version of Lisp that came out of Xerox PARC. Anyway, please come join us. What I wanted to do, and when I started off this project, was to get the Scheme programming language running on the device. And eventually that's my plan. In the short run, I did this every 15-minute hack. And yeah. So does anyone have any questions? Otherwise, yeah.
Total cost out of pocket so far, software?
$85 for the hardware, and that's it.
What about the design? You said small amount of money, you paid something.
Oh, sorry. I did pay probably $100 to someone online to design the SVG file for me. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, through Design Crowd, Natalia. I don't know what her last name is. She's somewhere out on the internet, but she was awesome. She did a great job. And I tweaked it. I changed the font slightly, but otherwise it's exactly her design. Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to see or like hear how you use the polling system for the site and scheme. Just that because I like important stuff. So.
Yeah, so actually what I would like to have done was to have implemented it in Scheme, but I just found someone's project called M5 Paper Remote Dashboard that's written in C. I tweaked it a little bit to talk to my Wi-Fi network, and I run that. So the Scheme code is running on my server. It does a fetch from OpenWeatherMap, parses the JSON, gets the parts out that it needs, produces the SVG file, turns that into a PNG file, and serves that up on the website. So it's fairly straightforward. It would be just the same as writing an HTML file, really. But yeah, it's fun. All right, well, thanks very much, everyone. If anyone wants to see this, I can show it to them afterwards.
Thanks, Arthur. Yeah, Brandon coming up. Talk about education gap. Thank you. Yeah, you can bring it on up. All right, so for the future, it is important that we pass the microphone around during question time, because there are people watching us live. Hello, everybody. Hello, YouTube. Check out YouTube, Hacker Dojo. I got 2 microphones. I have the power!
Is it a podcast?
Education gap. Does anybody want to take a shot at what education gap is all about?
Disparities.
Good. All right. What do you think? Let's go. Let's check it out.
Like educational
Before we get started, Bryn, your background, please.
Do you say?
Your back, no, your back, like your experience, please.
Better?
Talk about yourself. Talk about your background.
Yes, of course. My background. I see like there's something in the background. What is that? Okay. My name is Brinjo. You can call me Brinjo. I think it's easier to say Brin. And I come from Brazil. In 2016, made a research to understand why education was so slowly evolving comparing to other industries that every time some new technology surged or what was developed, all the industries take their part of it, like to evolve faster, but education do it slowly. And then I wanted to understand why this happened, like why nobody changed this yet in most of the countries and cities. And then I found out one thing I didn't expect. I found a way to make accidentally students who hated studying ask for extra homework. Yeah, I was until this day I was from the technology industry. I didn't work on education yet, but then I started to jump to education. So then I became a researcher on this topic, education gaps. But what's the point? I found out I can give the pitch of the research afterwards, but there is something else I want to bring to you in these 5 minutes. I found out there is like many different generations of education, and most of the schools are in the 2.0, which is like they operate having in mind that students don't count on technology as much as they do in the entertainment. I can give you an example. If schools want to do education faster, they could not teach students anymore. They could just ask them and make them go research it for it as they do in games, in Free Fire or Fortnite, but they don't. I'm going to explain one main point of my research, which is very interesting. Many schools, you can imagine schools as this tree, okay? Every school wants to see the sunset, okay? This is going to be in Portuguese, but I'm going to translate it in real time for you. We are a school, we want to see the sunset, which is students learning by themselves for fun and going out the world to build things and find in a proactive way, learning and studying in a proactive way, not depending on teachers all the time to learn. But then schools find many tools, they hire many tools to solve this, such as reinforcement. This is reinforcement, they cut the tree to see the sunset. Maybe they find teachers overwhelmed and then they hire LMS to help them. Low, not high performance from the students, and some parents that take time to pay their fees, and then they solve every point of this, the private schools, with one different solution that is very expensive, and then the school doesn't get more budget to focus on making students that love studying. And then, but this is the root cause of all these issues. This is like the learning gap, or the education gap, because managers are not solving this one. You know what this is? Uninterested students. School give up on these ones. They focus on the ones who were born with natural skills to learn. And those who need to develop this learning skill. They live like a second. Okay, afterwards we take care more of these ones. They have kind of, it's more difficult to them. It's not more difficult to them because if you look at home, they are the top one in games, top one in social media, because they're not studying, they're doing something else. They're focusing their attention and their potential. So school do this, but I found a way to solve the root cause. And then we can see the sunset without even spending money on all these other solutions, I can say. So what what solves an interested students? What can solve this? We just need to take the best techniques social media and games are using and bring it to homework or maybe to a school or to a game that works to give them curiosity. Then they go search the web, even though they don't have good teachers, even though their school doesn't give them the best classes or structure, they are gonna find out a way to get the knowledge. So this is the main point. And I developed one thing that is called GPSE, which is in English probably gamification, pedagogical, simplified, and smart gamification. It's not just gamification. It's like easy to do without understanding it. This is the whole concept, but I can summary in this way. And that's the main point of my 5 minutes presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. Any questions about education? Yeah. Raise your hand. Any hands? One question would be nice. Oh, we do have questions.
Questions? Yes.
What kinds of collaboration have you done with educators in classrooms about this project?
Cool. In Brazil, I already developed and delivered to schools an app which is called School King that solves this very easy for teachers. So teachers who don't know how to use technologies, they can use it very easily, just doing a login. They just need to do a login. That's why I call simplified. And they get like their work very, how can I say, facilitated, easier to do. Daily work, easier. This is what I call smart. Something you do manually becomes made by the robot, by the algorithm program. And I already delivered this to Brazilian schools, but only one profile of school can use it. Those who really care about the students. That's a main point. Not every school in Brazil really care about the students. Most of them are family schools, like family businesses, and they are just keeping the business alive. They're not trying to help it. Okay, next question. In US, I didn't bring it yet. Bring it now.
So, what do you use as your standard to help them learn what they're using International Baccalaureate down there in Brazil? Or are they more of a common core? We have common core here. Do you have draft standards you base a line off of it? And how do you make sure it actually teaches some things that will help not only in school but also outside of school learn?
Yeah, like, could you repeat the question? It's like, how do I
Based on
make sure?
International Baccalaureate, the standard, or one of their standards you use for the information inside of that. And how does that work?
Information, I don't think I got it perfectly, but
Standards do you have in Brazil for the actual information you're teaching the kids in there?
oh, perfect. The information we put in the app is not made by School King. It's made from the teachers. We do it from their classes. For example, if you have a lecture to do tomorrow to present, today you can make like the exercise list and put into the game, like a Word, like a Microsoft Word, and it's gonna transform this into a social media and game thing. Now, there is a whole way to do this, the right way. We tested like 1,000 of ways to do it, and 900 didn't work, but this one is what we are using right now, the ones that work best. Yeah. And the content is made by the teachers and by the school. Yeah, so we adapt.
All right, thank you, Ren. Thank you. Our next speaker we have is
Thank you.
Shangri-La.
Can I just?
Jonathan. Be coming up. Now, he didn't speak last week. There's a lot of questions. So he's going to come up again, answer those questions for you. Go ahead, fine.
Thank you.
He's going to answer those questions for you guys this week. CD and vinyls.
Yes.
Raise your hand if you still use vinyls. Ooh, oh, there's actually people here that use vinyls.
Very good.
Okay, that's amazing. Who still uses floppy disk? There you go.
Yes, turned on in the past 2 years?
No. All right. All right, Daniel, if you can please give us a background.
Okay, so I will first start off with introducing myself. Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan. By trade, I'm an electrical engineer and have been working for my own startup for the past almost 3 years. And my background is also in music, so who here has noticed that music these days is mostly on the streaming services such as Spotify, SoundCloud, etc., Tidal. So the problem statement that I have thought of is that streaming services these days have taken over most of the airwaves so that you're listening to music MP3 files, they're compressed format, they're lossy format, there's information that's missing. It doesn't sound as full as a lossless or even, or for instance, a vinyl record. So the solution to this is when you listen to your favorite music on Spotify, we're able to parse that data. There's a data log of your favorite musicians, artists, talent, and we're able to parse that data and figure out who your favorite artists are. You can list out your top 10 artists, for example, and we could send that data or sell that data to a third-party store, such as Walmart or Target. And those stores are able to, they carry your favorite vinyls or CDs, compact discs, and the idea is to be able to mail home to you your favorite records every month based on a subscription service, and you're able to have your favorite records with you mailed to your home. So, okay, let's see. So the music industry, there's been a 22.2% decrease in revenue from downloads because of the streaming services. And revenues from streaming music grew 26% to $5.9 billion in the first half of 2021. So we can see that most of these streaming services have been more prevalent in our listening habits these days. So, I mean, I've created a, let's see, I'm going to exit this presentation and going to go towards, hold on. So I have an Indiegogo page. Okay, it's not showing up for some reason. It's okay. Well, in general, this is a solution that was thought up thinking about the available services that we have. So if you're interested in working through problem solving with computer science, with programming, with a JSON file, then reach out to me. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. Any questions? I can't say it.
Shangri-La.
Shangri-La.
I don't know why my...
Vinyl and CD. How about that? You got a question? Yeah.
Can you like elaborate on that last statement on like what you're like thinking about like the JSON files and stuff like that?
Yeah, so
who are your favorite top 3 artists?
This is
Yeah, top 3 musicians.
Alright, I like 7. Adele's pretty good, and alright, so we're in California. Alright, I'll give you California artists. Let's say.
It's a hard question. Put you on the spot.
Gotta go with them. Yep. Alright.
Yeah, so say you have a list of your favorite artists and you click on the features on Spotify. When you listen to your favorite artists, the application keeps track of how many times you listen to the artist, what time you listen to the artist, and other metadata. So you can actually download that data and the Spotify platform will email it to you. And so our team is working on being able to parse that data, take that data, massage it so that it makes sense, and then we could either sell that data or work with that data to work with music stores or retail stores to be able to see what they have available to be able to mail home to you what your favorite records are automatically without you having to go to this record store.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Jonathan. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Another question? Okay, just say, because my microphone just died.
What's your favorite album?
What's that?
What's your favorite album?
My favorite album. I like, let's see, what's a good album? Day and Age by The Killers. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect, thank you. It's good. All right, we got Jose. Jose, huh? Steve.
Yeah, Jose, sí.
Jose, can I just make that name up? All right, Jose, train in LLM in 5 minutes. First of all, who knows what an LLM is? I don't know. Maybe you might want to talk about what an LLM is. I mean, it's kind of. Again, do you guys know what an LLM is?
Large language model.
All right, great. So Jose here is going to literally show you how to train your own LLM in 5 minutes. Wow. You guys ready? Yes. All right, let's do a little background from Jose. Here you go.
Thank you, John. Hello, everyone. My name is Chepetronics, Jose Ruiz. I've been a member on the Hacker Dojo for the past 4 years. So that means before the pandemic. Then during the pandemic, I was a supporting member. And then I was the first to sign up into the Hive, which is like the dedicated desks that we invite you to check out if you're around, if you need a place to work from. Please come ask around. It's a great place to work, great community to be at. For the past few months, I've also been hosting a series of workshops. I don't know if you remember in the agenda for next week. On Wednesday, we'll be having the Machine Learning Challenge. Those workshops are sponsored by Intel, who is also sponsoring today's food and drinks. So thank you, Intel, especially OpenVino team. And what we talk about on those Wednesdays is doing machine learning and doing inference with the Intel's toolkit, which is called OpenVino, that allows you to run your models basically on any hardware platform. But today, I won't be talking about Intel at all. I'm actually going to show you 2 things that I find very, very interesting. So, who here is interested in machine learning? Just a quick show of hands. Okay, a lot of you. Who here has some experience training a model? Okay, good. So about half of you. That's a great start. Out of all of you, who has used ChatGPT? Right? Bart, Paul. Okay, so a lot of you. And if you have used it, how many of you have heard the fact that it is very hard to train one of those models, and that's why you need to use an API and pay every time you make a call, right? So today I'm going to show you, and I'm going to start this notebook. And there's one particular cell here that's already running that will train a model. Well, it will actually fine-tune a model in less than 5 minutes, or 3:53, which is what I've got. So the technique that we're going to use, I'm going to start again. Most of the community is driven by Hugging Face, which I love and I find very easy to use, but personally, there's too much magic in it. I learned doing machine learning using Google's framework, which is called TensorFlow and Keras. And I like that I have more control. I feel like I know what I'm doing. It's just a personal preference. Using the transformer library from Hugging Face, you can actually do this same thing very, very easily in a very few lines of code. However, I find it very challenging to set up an environment with PyTorch. Whereas with TensorFlow, you just pip install, you're done. So what I'm going to use today, it's a new part of the library called Keras NLP that allows you to, in a single line of code, load a model. Today, we're running a version of BERT. Who remembers BERT? Was one of the first papers involving transformers published by Google. It was one of the first LLMs. And its main application was classification and also translation, machine translation. What we're going to do is we're going to load a database of movie reviews from IMDb using a library called IMDb Reviews, part of TensorFlow datasets. And we're going to basically, if we look at the reviews, it looks like this. It's a sentence or a couple of sentences, and then a number. If it's 0, it's a negative review. If it's a 1, it's a positive review. That's all we need to know. So we're going to teach BERT to tell us if the thing that we're throwing at it is positive or negative. That particular task is called sentiment classification. Okay? It's a sequence-to-sequence task, and it's a classification task over a sequence input, over a sequential input. We load our LLM in a single line of code with this BERT classifier from preset. And we define what's the kind of model that we're going to be using. In this case, I'm using a small variant just because I need it to train before my time is done. It's actually done training, okay? So I still have 1 minute and the training is done. And as I mentioned before, if you read how much time it takes to fine-tune a model, if you go and take the standard version of BERT and try to train it, this is the summary of BERT model with a classification head. And as you can see, it's almost 29 million parameters. It doesn't sound like a lot when you compare with ChatGPT 1 trillion parameters, but it's certainly a lot to train in your machine, right? If I try to run this, it would be more than 3 hours per epoch to train. However, we're going to use a technique called LoRa. What's LoRa? LoRa means low rank adaptation. And what that means is that all these huge models know too much and have too many parameters, and we only need a little set. And if you want to learn more about it, learn the paper about LoRa. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to just train the part that matters. Thank you. And I'm going to steal 2 more seconds. Before we train the model, these are the results. What an amazing movie and a total waste of my time. If we try those sentences, these are the results, completely undefined, right? It's right in the middle. The model doesn't know if this is positive or if this is negative. After we train it, first, the reason why I was able to train it in, 86 seconds was because I only trained 32,000 parameters out of the 28 million parameters. And we can say LoRa is useful for quick LLM fine-tuning. The particular kind of training that we're doing is called fine-tuning. And as you can see, that's 88% positive. And you can say, well, that's a different sentence. We can run the same sentences. What an amazing movie. 98% positive. A total waste of my time. 98% negative. Thank you.
All right, question time.
Questions? There's some questions there.
Hold on, sorry, here you go.
Obviously, this isn't my code. I took it from the Keras documentation. Well, this is actually my code. I'm mashing 2 or 3 different examples from the Keras documentation. I'm not that smart. Go there, learn from them, not from me. Yes?
Just the full form of LoRa.
The full?
Full form of LoRa.
The full form is low rank adaptation. Low rank adaptation. There's that paper was published around 3 months ago or 4, and then there's a new one called QLoRa, which is more powerful. QLoRa, yeah. Where did I train this? I didn't say that. This is running on a consumer level gaming computer using a 2080 Ti. So 2 or 3 years ago, 2 or 3 year old GPU in a standard machine. You can train it on your laptop.
And how many reviews were in the ground truth?
So the data set is this data set. It is 25,000 reviews on the training set and 25,000 reviews on the test set. However, in order to be able to train it during the lightning talk, I only run 500 examples.
Okay.
500 examples, which is what I did here. I said, train me for 1 epoch and only 500 steps per epoch, right? So it's not a significant part of it. What we're doing is we're only training the weights in the attention layer, which is the part that's gonna focus on the particular task that we're targeting, okay? More questions? No? Complaints?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You know, it took me a while, I don't know why, while sitting there for a second, I was sitting there, and go ahead, Balaji, you're good to go. I was sitting there, I was like, Chepetronics, ¿cómo que Chepetronics?
Chepetronics.
Yeah, I got it, Chepe. It's like a nickname for Jose, right? Yeah. Chepe. And then Senor Electronics. Yeah. You mash that together, you get Chepetronics. I was like, oh my goodness, okay, I got it. All right, so who here has been around to hear Balaji's talks? Raise your hand. Okay, all right, I think you got a fan base, Balaji. They're all here for you.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Balaji. I'm a software engineer. I have a background in biology too. I worked in Gene and Tech, Intel, those companies, Pfizer also. So based on that, some idea about biology I'm presenting. So if you take the origin of life, it came from the sea, they say. It creates its own language, C language. So how it originated, carved our life. So they say we came from the primordial soup of the sea. So the sound waves had some impact on creating single cell organisms. So if you take DNA, RNA DNA is the library of instruction to create an organism. So it has a certain pattern of wave which can create this sheets of music. You can say comparing the sheets of music to a DNA code, how we can use this to cure some abnormal cells. I was working on some idea. So if you take eye of a storm, it creates a wall around it. It is similar to that mRNA, that's messenger RNA, which is the creation of cell formation code, creates this way of cell. It is similar to the storm which creates the cell wall in the eye of the center. So the churning of the sea could have created this primordial soup of cells, initially with a single cell, and it became complex later. So how we can use this music as a catalyst for cellular level cure. That is one of the areas trying to see. So if you take the DNA also has a wavy form. So the music which can modulate and correct the errors in that. So if you take a CD, it can get corrupted. The CD has all the instruction. Our DNA also is like a CD player, which has the encoded information about life. If it is corrupted by the toxins and from the environment like virus and things, which we have to correct that. So if you take DNA, RNA strings, which has a 3 to 17 hertz cycle of sound wavelengths. So it is, as you know, the body is made of water, and water-based instruments can tune the body cells to some extent. So the how the seawater music, music from the sea waves can be a primordial formation of the protein machines, all the body parts are created by the protein machines congregated as one organisms. So sound has some influence on that. So there are instruments available which is water-based. They call one is an Indian Jaladharangam music. It is vibrates based on the different size of cups with water, and it creates. So why not use that type of music instrument with the cellular structure inside? So that one idea where we can fine tune our own body, as our body is made of 70% water. And if you can create a symphonic music instrument which has the structure of the cell with the water filled, we can tune cell vibration, so we can do that way. And so we can switch off and off some of the proteins. So the proteins which makes the core of our biological machine has on and off switches. Sometimes the virus, what it does, it off our switches, and we are our immunity goes down. So this, to make it on, music is one of the areas we can focus as a sound cure. So harmonizing the sound with the normal cell is one of the ideas I'm trying to see whether it is possible to develop. Thank you.
Wow. Well, at the end, you just... All right, due to time constraints, I'm going to have just one question. All right. Oh, you have one?
Yeah. Are you finding specific for cellular in RNA? Is it a frequency you're looking for to have it kind of vibrate out from the sound? Is it infrasound, or is it above that, high frequency, or is there, what's the monolithic connection between this and C waves? Is it like a Malbot type thing, or what? What's the connection on the melodic connection between C waves, DNA, and the actual cellular unit?
Okay, so see how the origin of life came through C. Maybe probably the C called all our code based on its wave function. So as you know, our body is made of 70% water. So if you create an instrument based on water that I showed, which can has the 3 to 15 hertz cycle, it can vibrate like a tuning the cells according to the vibration of the normal cells. So when abnormal cell vibrate in a different cycle, it has to correct it. Yeah.
So there's an excellent documentary documentary you may have or may not seen called The Miracle of Water. It's about researchers who do harmonic and actually quantum entangled one of the proofs of people in, like, say, in showers across the world, where literally it's far enough they can tell if they're in vibration, they get their actual harmonic frequency of their brain waves. And they even do things like have people put negative and positive emotions and words on water and rice in Japan. And there's the Russian guys who also did one there. But they literally found a causal connection between frequency vibration in human beings and water and food. So maybe something interesting to look at.
Yeah, I've seen that advertisement in San Francisco, I think. Ice, when you have a certain emotion, ice formation differs. The ice is water-based. So they have displayed one advertisement I have seen 20 years back, I think, which emotions affects water body and its structure. Yeah, I've seen that,
All right, Balaji, thank you. And Iron and Music, thank you. All right, Marty Mills, my experience in Silicon Valley. Uh-oh. Hey, what are you doing, Balaji? You're not supposed to take that. It's quite interesting how when Balaji comes up and does his talks. Every single week, Monday. Oh, sorry. Every single week he comes up and his talks are just so out there, like so different. You know, if you guys haven't seen his talks, they're all uploaded on YouTube on Hack Dojo. Just check out his talks. He's been doing them regularly, like every single week. And they're just so mind, like, just makes you think, like, where does he even come up with this stuff, you know? Yeah. All right, Mike, we're going to talk about my experience in Silicon Valley. Well, it's not my experience. All right.
All right, can you hear me? All right, perfect. Hi, everyone. Well, I'm Mary Nieves, and I know many of you know me as Mary. And I'm originally from Mexico, and this is my first time visiting Silicon Valley. Yay! Well, over the past few weeks, I had the awesome opportunity to collaborate with Tiana and on updating the branding and the social media for the dojo. She's been working as a community manager here, but also interested in design, so she helped with the Neo Hacker Dojo website along with Jason, Emily, Ilda, and Peter. And let me tell you, Tiana, she's been a tremendous help for me too, and all of you guys too. So thanks. One of the things that has impressed me the most is how each individual in Silicon Valley develops their interests and passions well beyond what an average person always does. Here, people have the ability to turn their ideas into concrete actions, making most of their talents and skills. Time seems to pass differently in Silicon Valley, and the ideas emerge with greater clarity than anywhere else where I have ever been before. It's a fascinating place where the passion for progress and improvement is contagious. During my stay in Silicon Valley, I realized the powerful impact that people can have in our lives. As the renowned motivational speaker John Rohn says, we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. That's why it's essential to surround ourselves with people who inspire us, challenge us, and help us grow as individuals. Here I've been fortunate to interact with fascinating individuals who are in a state of heightened creativity, knowledge, and wisdom. Their way of thinking and behavior has motivated me to seek innovative ways to change people's lives. They have driven me to challenge conventional ideas and explore beyond what I once believed was possible. Now, with all this in mind, my goal is to return to my home country and become a source of inspiration for others, just as many of you are here and have been for me. I firmly believe in the power of working with the Silicon Valley mindset, developing my ideas and taking them to the level of excellence found in this region. I'm convinced that we can change the world with an idea, as long as we believe in ourselves and are willing to put in the work. I want to be part of the change in my country and help others discover their potential and make a difference in their lives. In summary, my experience in Silicon Valley has taught me the importance of surrounding myself with inspiring, challenging people, and continuously learning. It has given me the confidence and preparation needed to controversial ideas and explore beyond the established limits. Now it's my turn to work with this mindset, develop my ideas, and bring them to the level of the excellence that characterizes Silicon Valley, with the goal of becoming an inspiration and support for my country. Well, I sincerely appreciate your attention and for giving me the opportunity to share this experience with all of you. I'm excited about the possibilities that await us all and the positive impact that we can create together. Let's continue to believe in ourselves and work tirelessly to change the world with our ideas. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's a nice applause. You did a good job. All right, do we have a question? One question. Here we go. Is there one? Yeah. Oh, Jose. Wait a minute. Sorry.
Can you tell us what was the most impacting thing that you have done within a month that you have been here?
The most impacting thing is that, like I said, people in here that they really invest in what their passions. Like they don't just feel the passion in a low level. They want to take it to the world and not just in a low level. They want to make an impact in this world. So I think that's very admirable, and that's what makes the most impact in me. Yeah.
All right, thank you. XRO. Making DNA. Yeah, I said that. Making DNA. What? What's going on here? Kind of sus. Eh?
That looks good, but we want something different. Okay. You can enjoy my good background picture while I get the display working. There we go. So, mirror. Okay. Alright. So I heard I have 30 seconds to tell you who I am. Huh? Okay, hi guys. I'm on a visit here from Austria, and I came by at 11 in the morning and they told me, hey, we have a lightning talk, you need to present something. I'm like, what? So I butchered some slides that were a work in progress, and yeah, we'll see how far we can go. I'm Bernhard, I'm a computer engineer by training, I'm also the CTO at Kilobaser, and in the hacker community they usually call me XRO, so I'm in CCC, I'm in Hackerspace Graalraum, and I Hackerspace Olga, and I think I will try to teach you guys how DNA is made, so it's basically chemical synthesis. That's actually very easy, so I hope we can do it in 5 minutes. Okay. Normally, this is what we do. We make a coffee machine like DNA synthesizer. It's personal, it's private, it's supply chain independent, it's easy and fast, and normally this is the thing you use when you want to make DNA. But how does it actually work? And by work, I mean small sequences beyond smaller than 200 base pairs. So, those are called oligos, by the way. Huh? And they control enzymes. Look it up. We don't have time for more. So you have, of course, the 4 building blocks of life: guanine, cytosine, adenine, thymine, and you can buy them in a normal chemistry shop as phosphoramidites, which basically means those 4 things with some additional protection groups and linkers and molecules on them. And then you just have a loop, and you mix chemicals in this loop. First, you have the detertylation, which means remove the protection from the base before it. The coupling, put new chemicals in, hope they mix. You have like very, very strengths in parallel that are formed. then oxidation, which basically means you stabilize the whole molecule, and then capping, which means everything that has not reacted yet is being kept, so to reduce errors. And finally, at the end, you cleave it and flush it out. And that's how it works. But in detail, for example, how does that look? You have a linker, then we add a base G, and then there's the protection at the end, the GMT. So, and then we add then we add T, then we add another T, another A, another C, and the end we do the cleaving, removing the protection at the end, and we're done. But why do we need this detritylation? Huh? What does it actually help us to do? So for example, when we add a new base, and there would not be a DMT protection molecule at the end, then of course many adds would be added. No? We could not add a single molecule or a single base because they would just connect and connect and connect to each other. No? So that's the idea behind the protection molecule at the end, DMT. It makes sure that only one base is added at a time in each step. And there's also a thing that's called coupling efficiency. So in each step, stuff can go wrong. There's actually a measure for that, and usually it's between 99% and 100%. So, but still errors can happen, and this is actually the thing that limits the maximum length of synthesized, chemically synthesized DNA. So this capping I talked before, why do we need it? If we did not have it, then let's say in one string we have very parallel strings that synthesize DNA. In one string, direction would not happen. No? So, but then the string would continue to grow in the next step, in the next step, in the next step. But in the middle, one sequence, one base would be missing. And why is that bad? Because when I want to filter out my errors, I usually sort them by length, molecular weight. So I don't want anything that has an error in between to have the same length or same molecular weight than all the other sequence. So I cap them. When one error, one reaction does not work, I put a cap on the sequence and they remain short. So that at the end I can filter them out, or sometimes I don't even need to filter them out because they just won't react in whatever application I use them later. So this is why I'm using capping, and that's it. That's how chemical synthesis works for short DNA sequences.
Wow. That was really good. All right, we have a question over here. We got Turbo.
Hey, that Kilobaser sounds incredibly cool. I think it's really amazing that you can build your own DNA in whatever sequence you want. Mm-hmm. But are there any applications yet for that? Like, what would somebody do once they built their DNA? Or is that still like in the future? Maybe
well, okay. Let's talk about primers, because what we're doing is oligos. We're doing oligos, which means short pieces of DNA, oligonucleotides. And there are several applications. For example, you can use them in PCR. You all knew PCR from the last 2 years, and we used it to detect if someone was sick, if someone had COVID, no? Which basically means we put their DNA in a probe, and then we use the primer that matches towards COVID in the probe, and we run the process, PCR or qPCR, to check if that primer matches to the DNA sequence that's in there. And I can print any primer to test this. For example, I can print a primer that matches to horse meat, and I can print a primer that matches to chicken meat, and then I can put some meat in there and mix it and see what was it. No? And I can do this for virus, I can do this in the field. Let's say I'm on a boat, I want to check someone for a virus, I download the sequence that would match the long virus, very short piece, no? That's that matches to the thing. Download it, run the test, and I can test for anything on the fly. I can also use it as a guiding RNA for CRISPR-Cas9 or anything you want to do in the lab So primers are basically the Swiss Army knife of molecular engineering.
That's cool, man. That is awesome. Thank you, Etoro. Making DNA. Our last speaker is going to be Hilde. Come on up, talking about user onboarding.
You may need the adapter. I don't know what you
What's that?
Oh, it works like that. That's what I was trying to figure out. Yeah.
Perfect. Our last speaker today, Hilde. If you can give us a few seconds, of the background experience.
All right.
Hello?
All right. Yes. Little breather here. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Ildefonso Prieto. I'm a product growth consultant. I've been doing it for over 6 years, and today I'm going to be talking about how to convert free users into long-term paying customers for your software products. Okay. All right, so let's just kind of get started. So most of the time, user onboarding gets tagged on by the idea of just walkthroughs and tooltips that take you around a software product. But this is not user onboarding. Today, I'm going to be sharing 3 secrets of user onboarding on how to actually do this correctly and how to unlock the activation growth for your product. So these secrets, we're going to get you to do 3 things. First, it's going to get you to get more signups. It's going to help early retention rate and week 1 improvements. And it's going to get more free users to pay for your product. And my name is Dojo Lightning, like I said, but these are some of the clients that I help with user onboarding. And what is user onboarding? User onboarding is all about helping people get to successfully adopt your product. And you do that by helping them out. And you help them out through their entire journey so that they become a power user like yourself for your product, that they can unlock the growth that they came to your product for. So let's get started with the secret number 1. Secret number 1 is that you have to curate the first user experience of your product very well. It is very likely that 40 to 60% of new free trial users churn after that first user experience. That makes it extremely important. And that's about half of new users, so you get that in context. It's extremely important. So why does this happen? There's 2 main reasons for this to happen. The first reason is that the user didn't even understand what your product was about. They signed up and they thought it was for something, and it was for something else, and they churned. And the second one is that they understood what it was, but they didn't actually experience the value, so they didn't think that they would get the value in the future from your product. So the way to do this, to fix the experience of your product, is that you define a goal for the first user experience of your product. Then you map out all the steps from the moment they sign up to the moment they achieve that quick win. And then you optimize that journey as much as possible. That's kind of the quick framework for you to do that, right? And it's just 3 easy steps. This is testimony from one of my clients that was really happy to do that and implemented it even further in second UX and everything. So now, the second secret is all about that you don't have to be a super user onboarding expert to get results. And even the experts have to do this thing, which basically is talk to the market. You have to let your users tell you what is wrong with your product. And normally you do this by usability testing, but this is kind of super difficult. So most of the times I wouldn't even do it just because most people don't want to do it because it's too hard. But lately, my brother told me that you can do remote usability testing, which makes it super quickly. In under 24 hours, you can get about like 5 to 10 people to test your product, the first user experience, and get it recorded. And they do the tasks that you set them to do, and they will literally, you will see them struggle with your app. And you will say, hey man, it's right there. You just have to click on that button, and they just won't see it. And this is the things that you need to be able to see. They are seeing your product from a new user's perspective. You are a power user. And that distance and that feedback is what's gonna help you feed your user onboarding so that you convert more free users into paid customers. This is testimonial. Essentially, you don't have to learn a bunch of things. You can just use your test. All right? So, and then the secret number 3 is how to get more people to sign up for your product. This is the second thing I was talking about, getting people to understand your product. And the way you do this is from a book. Basically, it's a framework called the elephant, the rider, and the path. And what it states, it's all about decision making and making the change in your life. And the main drivers is the elephant, the rider, and the path. The elephant represents the emotional side of your brain. The rider represents the rational side. And the path is just how easy it is to actually make that switch. So the elephant is the most powerful. Wherever he wants to go, he will go. If he's scared, he will run. And nothing the rational side or the rider will do can change that. So basically the way you do that is that you have to communicate. The way you appeal to the elephant side is that you have to communicate correctly with your users. And you have to think about your users like Bruce Wayne. So basically it's just a mere mortal. But with your product, the Batman suit, it's put together, they become an unstoppable force that fights crime. You need to not talk about your suit and all the features in your product. You need to talk about that desired outcome that the user will get once they use your product. So that battle against the villain that is just crucial, and they'll feel that adrenaline rush. Get them to feel that when you communicate your product. So once you have that current situation and that desired situation, look at how your product bridges that gap. Summarizes into 3 to 5 high-level steps. And you're able to get the user to understand how your product works in their context of their own lives, which is super powerful. And an example of this, you can do it in a video, you can do it on a landing page, but I really like the landing page where you can step out and map out on your landing page, like literally like step 1, 2, 3, or 3 to 5 steps. And it really helps people understand your product. And the final is, the path is just make it super easy. Oh, wait, the rational side, the rider, I got 20 seconds. Basically, you gotta give them proof and testimonials that you do the right thing, and you gotta make it super easy for them to sign up. That's the path. So I had a client that asked for 14 things for people to sign up. No, go ask only 2 things. Honestly, you guys are probably like this, but if you want some help with this, just hit me up and we can do a user onboarding strategy call. Go to my LinkedIn and you can get the link in there and schedule a call.
All right. Thank you, man. That was awesome, dude. I gotta be confident. That's awesome. That was great. Cool. All right. Was there any questions?
Did he say the website?
Website.
Yes. So my website. Well, to get this link, you go to my LinkedIn, but my website is sassgrowers.com.
Perfect. That was our guest speakers.
Man.
It's a wrap. What was amazing about tonight was we had some first-time visitors and first-time speakers. We had Maury. Hello, he's in the back. Keep in mind, remember he said that he came Iran, right? Iran? From Iran. Came here. That's what's amazing about Hacker Dojo is that there's a lot of those experiences. I came from another country. I came here, check things out, learn, expanded my skills and knowledge. Hacker Dojo is a nonprofit. We offer a lot of those courses and classes for free. Come hang out at Hacker Dojo to learn something new. And if you want to be a member, you can sign up right now at the front desk anytime. Or if you guys want to donate to Hacker Dojo, nonprofit, again, there's a laptop at the front. You guys can donate. Lastly, we are having karaoke in the classroom. So if you guys like music, you guys like singing, you guys want to hang out, have fun, hang out in the classroom. We're about to get started. With that said, we're going to wrap it up for Lightning Talks. If you want to be part of our group picture, meet at the back. You guys in the back, if you guys can move the ping pong table forward so we can have everybody line up in the back. So yes, with that said, thank you guys for hanging out. Hacker Dojo Lightning Talks.
Can I say something? Can I make an announcement?
Yeah, one more announcement from Bill.
Hi, on June 27th, I think it is, Tuesday, we're going to have a talk on how to tell whether your LLM is giving you truth or not in the classroom, on the ACM SFACM meetup page. Take a look.
Hacker hallucination? Is that what it is? Psychoanalyzing your LLM for hacker for hallucination?
All right. So I'm not done with you. YouTube. You're gonna watch. We're all in that lineup back there. Okay, are we ready?
Can you clarify that the group photo is for everyone and not
Yes,
just
it's for everybody. Everybody group up in the back. Everybody, be part of this photo, please. The more the better. Oh, it's not on the camera. Sorry. There you go. Watch. There you go. Everybody group up in the back. Group up in the back. We're going to take an awesome group photo. You guys need to crunch in. Make it 3 rows. 3 rows at least, minimum. All right? Crunch on in. So the center. Huh? The center's going to be over here. Everybody center up, right over here. This is the center. Everybody group up right over here. You want to be part of this photo? I want to be part of the photo. Look at that. Yeah. Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Yes. All right, hold on. This is video, but hey, hold on. Wait. Let me get in there. Let me get in there. Oh. All right, here we go. 10 seconds. Hold on. All right, let me get over here. Ready?
1, 2, 3. Hey.
Smile. All right, we're done. That's a wrap. Hang on out. Have fun. We're going to get the music rolling. Thank you, everybody. That was really awesome. Thank you. Alright, come on with me. We're gonna go take a walk. Go say hello. Hello. Thank you. How was your experience?
That was fantastic. I really love that. Having these people for the very first time talking without knowing what is going to happen, that's the best thing that we can do that.
Yes, that's the best. How was your experience? Is this your first time doing a talk?
Yeah, it's the first time.
Were you nervous?
I'm still nervous.
I know, trust me. When I did my first talk, I was like, oh no, 5 minutes. But you actually did pretty good. You did good.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it, actually. Thanks.
I'll see you next time. All right, let's keep on going. Ilde, how was your experience tonight?
It was awesome. I really liked it. This is the shit.
All right.
Awesome. Fuck yeah.
All right. Let's keep it going. Oh, there he is. Oh, I was going to get... Okay. We'll come back. Let's go check out outside. See what's going on here. Oh, yeah. Got the music going on. Yes, this is awesome.
You're that Clancy family. Yeah, they don't care.
We'll start off with fine set, report
But the thing that it's the thing that
All right. I think we're good. We're going to wrap it up here. Hacker Dojo. All right, let's go take a walk. Check things. Oh, our speakers. What was our speakers for today? This is part of the hive. It's an extended part of the hive where members can get a dedicated desk. Of course, they pay a little bit more, but at least they have their own like office here. And some people don't mess around, you know. Good. They're here to get work done. The laser cutting room. Let's turn the lights on. Big old laser cutter. Oh my goodness. I didn't mean to do that, sorry. That was loud. There's a lot of stuff in here. Let's go. I'll leave the light on. And then this is where I moved the new podcast room. Check it out. Where's Brooklyn at? See it, there's a soundboard right there. Or the mixer, sound effects board, whatever you want to call it. It's awesome. It's awesome to see that people are actually using the whiteboard. It was one of those questionable things. Should we keep it in here or should we take it out? I said, nah, let's leave it in here. I'm pretty sure people actually use it. You know, because people might want to use this room as like a conference room or just, you know, calls or something. Yeah, it's good. All right, let's go to the electronics room.
Sorry.
All right, electronics room here. See if you recognize any of this stuff here. Look at this. Pegasus. Yeah. Is this are you making something? Can I show it on screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's see. What are you making here?
I'm trying to make a kind of like a ring or something that can hold some objects, but they are hollow, so they can be light as possible, also strong. So that's why they looks like this.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Is there like a purpose for this, or you
Yeah.
what are you trying to do with it?
I'm trying to put some kind of items around it, but I want to look good and also make it light.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it took me a long time to figure
I was
out.
going to ask you, how long did it take you to make that?
Wow, at least almost a week.
Oh yeah.
I finally start getting this stuff.
And this is off a Blender, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you teaching Blender classes?
The root is doing that. He is the root.
Dulat.
The Dulat. Okay.
Dulat, yeah.
Yeah, he is doing that. So he's sort of telling me somewhere like where to look at things like that. So
Is that you printing right there right now?
that's his items, but that's something else.
This is Dulat.
Yeah, he's printing a I think he's a charger cover or something like that.
For like the Tesla, right? I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it was?
That's what he's trying to do.
For the renewable charging technology he's trying to build.
Yep.
Yeah. Or he actually built. It's actually a thing. It's not. He's trying. He actually did build it. It does exist. It's still in a rough state, but it exists.
Yeah, he tried to go to the Tesla charge station. I think a little while. He's been there a few times. So, yes.
He did find some clients out there to let them let him test his equipment on their Teslas, and it works good. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Let's move on. Ooh, look at this. Yeah. There's so much stuff here. What is it? Oh, this is
a robot.
This is a robot.
Someone's still making it anyway.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not see this. Look at this.
That's the armor.
Who? This wasn't here before, was it?
It was. I saw that like maybe a couple, maybe a week ago or something like that. Someone put it there.
But just recently. It's just recently.
I believe so.
Yeah, because this snuck up. This is pretty cool. Right? I see you. You see me. Huh? We see each other. That's pretty cool. Let me see the hand. Wow. Well, nice to meet you. Hello. Beep boop, beep boop. What happened to the karaoke? There's supposed to be karaoke in here. This is pretty cool the way they have it set up. Are you gonna sing?
Who?
You. Yeah.
It's entirely possible. Not out of the question.
Hotel California. All right. Help support our mission to provide this open space. Donate. Text Hacker Dojo to 53555. And there is a QR code. Well, that's it. Bye-bye. Welcome and goodbye. See ya.